Hey guys, so today we're gonna be doing this lesson. It's called I Am. So what we're gonna need is paper, markers, or a pencil. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your paper and you're gonna fold it in four. I already did that. And now what you're gonna do is I want you guys to go ahead and think of whoever you admire. Whoever you admire can be alive, they could be dead, they can be a family member, it could be anybody. So go ahead and do that. So now that you've thought about who inspires you, on one of your squares, you are going to go ahead and just list the people. So the people that inspire me are J.K. Rowling, James Franco, Oprah Winfrey, Claudette Colin, and my mommy. So now you're gonna open it up, and on this square, you're going to write at least 3 objectives for each person that you listed. So, for example, for J.K. Rowling, I'm gonna say I found her to be determined, inspiring, creative, and persistent. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the next ones, and I'm gonna show you guys right. So here I went ahead and wrote down the objectives. So for J.K. Rowling, we had said determined, inspiring, persistent, and creative, to create a world like Harry Potter. Amazing. I love the books. I prefer the movies just because of how you get to see her world come to life. For James Franco, he's an actor. He came out in the first Spider-Man. He's kind of from like my generation, but it's funny because he's a movie star. So he's pretty a movie star. Yeah, he's a movie star. And he's pretty rich, but he decided to get a PhD. So he's a doctor of, I believe, music and television and film. I just thought that was interesting. So for him, I put vulnerable because he's a poet and he writes books and he doesn't expect people to like him. He just publishes his work, and I think that takes a lot of vulnerability to put out your emotions and have people like him or not. um, I've put studious because he has a PhD. That's like the highest degree you could get. Adaptable because he's an actor and he went from an acting to college, and that's really hard. And he's adventurous because that was a big leap for him to do from acting to being a. He actually teaches at USC and NYU, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And then we have Oprah Winfrey, and for her, I put successful, unbothered, persistent, and a feminist. So Oprah Winfrey was kind of a big TV host back when I was younger. Um, I never watched her show, but as I got older, I learned that she actually had a really, really hard childhood growing up. Um, and that she didn't let that bother her. And I feel that's an amazing example because we each have obstacles in our life, and unfortunately some of us just aren't strong enough to overcome them. And I feel her circumstances were just really out there, and the fact that she's a multi-billionaire right now and she's well known within the industry is just amazing. Then I put Claudette Colin, and so you guys know Rosa Parks. 9 months before Rosa Parks, this little girl decided to not give her seat up to a Caucasian person. This was back in the 60s when racism was a really big thing and discrimination and all that. And she was really young and she chose not to get up. And that's just amazing. And for me, her objectives are proud, she was vocal, she was confident, and she was young. And I think she's an important symbol for you guys to know that just because you're little, it doesn't mean you can't stand up for what you think is right. And last, I put my mom, and my mom is strong, she's hopeful, she's loving. And I put earthy. My mom's like a really big hippie person, and I really admire that because she's really calm. She doesn't let things get to her, and I just really admire that from my mom. So now that we have this, make sure that you only have the words once. And I think I did that. All my words are only there once. Since if you're like me and you wrote a lot, kind of the ones that you feel like the objectives that really stand out to you the most, you're gonna write them down in a new square. So since I have a lot, I'm gonna circle the ones that just kind of mean the most to me, that they're words that just I feel a connection to, and I'm gonna go ahead and write them down on a new blank square. Okay, so it was really hard to just choose the words, but I ended up going with persistent, adventurous, patient, proud, and hopeful. So now what we're gonna do in this line is we're gonna draw a line and then we're gonna put the words down but with commas next to them. So I'm gonna show you guys that. So now that we have this done, we are going to write the words I am in the black line. So now that we have I am, we are going to read it out loud. So it's I am persistent, adventurous, patient, proud, and hopeful. So this exercise, it actually shows that the people we admire have qualities that we find in ourselves, and sometimes we're not aware of those things. So I wanted to do this exercise to kind of show you guys that you are the people you look up to in your own way. So here's the little square. I hope you guys liked this. Um, Again, I would love to see your work. So if you guys could share it to the Reach for the Stars Facebook page, I would love to see you guys do this exercise. Please keep taking care, and remember, whoever you look up to, they have the same qualities that you do. Please don't forget that.